What's up, everybody? Welcome again to another episode of the August Love Story podcast. I'm your host, Tommy T. This is my beautiful wife, Artieka T. In the building. Say hello.
Hi. Oh, last time I didn't say anything.
You didn't. And today we have a special guest with us, the wonderful Miss Talisa Rae. But before we get into anything, please, you guys go subscribe to our channel, like this video, like the podcast, comment, and enjoy this conversation with the wonderful Miss Talisa Rae and Artieka.
So I'll tell you guys a little bit about Talisa Rae. We met her a few years ago.
She family.
And she's part of our little YouTube family that is growing. She is an author, a podcast host, and a YouTube creator. And she has become a wife coach after some serious soul searching and self-evaluation. So wanted to make sure to welcome you guys and introduce to you guys Talisa Rae.
Hey, y'all. I'm excited.
Air horn.
Yeah, right. I like it. Hey, thank you for having me. I'm really excited, a little nervous to be here. Why? I don't know, because y'all my folks.
Right.
But I am. So if
we
I
try not to act the fool with you.
If I got this whole grin on my face the whole time, it's a nervous smile.
Oh,
so,
okay.
you know.
Yeah.
No, it's all
but
good.
I love y'all too, so it's cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get started. This new season of the August Love Story podcast, we have started doing conversation cards. So today's card that I picked says, what is something that occurred this past year that you are especially thankful for? We will let you start. Miss Talisa Rae.
Something that I'm especially thankful for. You know what? I'm grateful. What is the opposite of procrastination? That's what I'm grateful for. What's the opposite of that? What is the word that I'm looking for?
Not procrastination.
Not procrastination. I don't know. There is a word for it, but I don't know what it's called. Because I am a recovering procrastinator. Everything, work, like my 9 to 5 with my coaching stuff. I am a huge procrastinator. I could lay down for 15 more minutes before I have to get it done. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna wait until the 11th hour. I was even like that in school, like wait, and my best ideas and my best work comes at the last minute. However, I found that if I pretend that the due date is sooner, I still have that same like creative juice flowing. So I kind of have to trick myself. So I'm really grateful for the transition of being on time. I can't say on time because if we go on somewhere to an event, you say, Talisa, be there at 5, I'm going to be there at 4:45. So I can't say that. But when it comes to like projects and stuff, that makes sense.
Yeah. That's
I'm really excited about that. Grateful for it.
Yeah. Like I plan my procrastination.
Oh.
You know?
That's a thing.
Yeah. Like I know that, you know, we supposed to be on here at 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all right, man, I can wake up at 2:45.
I walked upstairs at 2:45 and he was definitely asleep on the bed.
Like I made sure I had everything I needed. I made sure that everything, it didn't have to be set up, but I didn't have to go look for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so 2:45, I can go ahead and get set up, boom, 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 get my computer moved and everything we need to do and stuff like that. And there you go. Not procrastinate, but procrastinated.
Yeah. Maybe it's preparedness in procrastination.
There you go.
Maybe that's the thing I'm grateful for, preparedness.
I haven't beat it at all. So there's that. Like my best friend is planning a trip. I'm his travel agent. And I'm like, y'all still going?
I can't say nothing about that, man. You need to work on that, man.
I do. I need to be better. I need to be better and do better. So what is yours?
What was the question?
It is, what is something that occurred this past year that you are especially thankful for?
My son.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thankful for my son. So.
I was about to say, are we telling folks? But at this point, they'll know.
Yeah.
Okay.
By now.
Like Talisa has known for.
Yeah. Talisa, like, yeah. She family, so she knew. But I'm thankful for him and Lily. You know, me and Lily has gotten closer a lot closer over the pregnancy with him. And yeah.
I needed y'all to.
I'm thankful for
I'm going to say that that's what I'm thankful for.
Oh, yeah?
Come on.
Because Lily used to be Velcro to me. And at this point in life, like she wakes up in the morning now and she says, "Hi, mommy, where's dad?" And I'm like, he downstairs. If it's a day that he's in the office, and I'm like, he's in the office. He only goes in a couple of days a week. So I'm just like, go down there, find your daddy, see what he's doing. Give him a hug and a kiss. Tell him good morning.
I'm going to just tell you that in a minute, you won't exist to her. Like, it'll be, I'm a daddy's girl. Like,
I'm cool with it, though.
Good. Yeah.
She is until she's not.
What you mean until I'm not?
I'm just saying, man.
Like you met somebody.
I'm just saying.
I'm just asking.
She cool with it until you're not. So.
All right. I still have a boy, though. So there's that.
And boys love their dads, too.
No.
Yeah, they do.
I got 2 boys. Listen, I mean, my situation is different. They weren't here. Well, my late husband was here for my youngest one, and he did love him more than he loved me. So much so that I'd be thinking that he wished it was me and not him, that he was still here.
Well,
no, don't feel bad about it. That's okay. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad about it. Don't feel bad about it. It's just that
it sounds bad.
It don't feel bad about it. It don't. Okay. It's just that I'm not the fun parent. I'm the responsible parent. So, that's the difference. So I know that he loves me, but it just looks different because I'm not going to be out here playing basketball. No, I don't want to take you to the 50-11 practices that you have, right? I don't want to play. I'm not roughhousing. No, I'm not about to do 50 push-ups with you. Like, that's not happening. Yeah. I mean, well, sometimes I'll get down there and do 15 to they 50. But that's the part that I think that he misses more. His dad was, let me get out here and go. We leaving. So, yeah. So, there's that. I say all that to say he might be right. Yeah. He might be right.
Might be on to something.
You might be on to something.
I'm not doing that. I will have, if you're playing sports, I will have you a nice care package of Gatorades and waters and fruits and all those things, but don't expect me to sit through the whole practice. I'm not doing it.
I ain't gonna sit through the practice, but I'll be at the game. So
you'll be at the practice. I watch him with his little cousin, and I jokingly call it his first boy. He's 17 now. And like when he said he needed to get faster in football, Tommy went out and bought him like the ladder and the cones. And he got outside, messed up his leg and everything.
Yeah, I pulled the hamstring, but I beat him. We was racing.
And I'm like, I'm never going to be that parent. I'm never going to be that cousin, that friend, anything. Like, y'all go outside and leave me alone. I'm
going to buy you the stuff. Right. I'm with you. I'm going to buy you the stuff. Here, now go on YouTube and figure out how to use it. But I'm not, you want me to record you? Oh, okay. Let me know when you're ready.
That's hilarious. But I think kids need that.
They do. That's why people like you exist.
Yeah. Like,
everybody can't do that.
Everybody can't, but if you can do it.
Play your part.
I could. So.
Well,
that's my dog.
We will be jumping into today's topic. So we're going to start off talking to Talisa about dating after loss.
Baby.
So we have been, how long have we been dating, Talisa? 7 years? 5?
7. What, it's 22? Yeah. Mm-hmm. 7 years.
She's been dating 7 years since the loss of her husband. And how's that going at this point in life?
Well, right now it's going absolutely great. Right now, in this season, right now, today, it's going pretty great. But at first, it was not. It was very different when I first lost him, because it's almost like you're in this vulnerable state. You had somebody that you slept with every day, that you did things with. You had constant companionship, and then you have nothing. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like the vultures know that you're vulnerable and you need somebody that, like you miss something. It's almost like your pheromones say, I'm a widow and I'm sad and I need some companionship. Now, I didn't notice that before because I was damn near headed over heels in love with somebody right after, which was probably the catalyst to this amazingness that I am now. outside of me losing my husband. So 1, 2 back to back. God was like, oh, so you didn't learn that when you lost your husband? Oh, okay. Guess what? I'm about to have you deal with a fool. Right. Here's a total F-boy. Hi. Here you go. And you're not going to see anything until your heart is broken. So at first it was pretty traumatic. Even after like I've done all this like self-work and figured out who I was outside of and why I was so mean. After all of that, which was great, then I jumped myself into that relationship, which was horrible. He broke up with me because he said I wasn't over my husband, which he probably was right, but it didn't seem like it because that's a whole different story. Y'all listen, go over to my channel. It's on there. It's old, but it's on there. You'll see why I say that. But it's on there if you look for it. And then came back, I'm still like, it's been like a couple months and he comes back and then I'm all like, oh, you're getting married? Oh, you want me to be a side chick? Oh, I see. So then you have that whole now I'm doing the whole, am I enough? Why am I not enough? Why did you choose her? Because you must have been dating us both at the same time. So that was a horrid mess. And you would have thought that I would have said, I'm not going to date no more. Forget it. Forget this and them and all these people. I almost said something, but you can just forget them. To this day, that man still is like, so, you want to be my girlfriend? And it's been about 5 years since then.
Is he still married?
He's still married. He's still married. And also, yes, very trifling. So also it made me feel like, well, what about me tells you that I would be okay with that? What about me says that I'm going to be okay with being like the side chick? I am not. I'm not okay with that. That's not who I am. I mean, maybe I'm in a, maybe pre-marriage, but then after I got married, y'all know I'm transparent and telling all my business. But after I got married and, had a husband, I would never want to inflict that kind of pain on a woman. Mm-hmm. Right. So I'm not for that. So I started dating.
How long was it before, like after your husband passed, what did you actually start? Like immediately, like it was Monday and here you are on a date on Thursday?
Not that fast. But somebody thought it was that fast. So in my mind,
I didn't know. Like because I asked that because first off, how long were you married?
Oh, I was married a short time, 3 months. Not 3 years, 9 months, and 8 days. I was married.
How long did you know him?
I got married fast. Don't judge me, but judge me if you want to. Judge your mama. I don't care. So I met him in June of 11. He asked me to he moved in with me September of 11. He asked me to marry him in December. We got married in July 2012. So literally a year. So, one of those things where I feel like I still feel this way. But with a little bit of a caveat to it. Like I'm at a certain age, I don't have time to be playing around. Like, what are we doing? Why am I waiting 5 years? I might not do it. I'm sorry. I know I'm not going to get married again right now in this season. I'm not going to get married again. That's how I feel. But if I happen to have a change of heart at like 50, right? 2 years. I need to know you for 2 years before I say yes. I don't even want you to ask me before 2 years. Even though, okay, I'm rambling, but even though I believe a man knows if you're marriage material rather quickly and they know if they want to marry you within like 6 months to a year. They already know. Yeah, they know that. But I'm going to have a stipulation like, hey, yo, don't even talk to me about it. Like, what are we doing? Like, no. And you're going to have to be one hell of a dude in order to convince me to say yes. My marriage was a whirlwind and it was chaotic, and I'm not healed from that experience, and I know that for a fact. So that's why I say I wouldn't get married again. Like that wasn't an experience.
I have a cousin that was like that. She said that she wouldn't get married again, and then here she is. What is she? 55? She's 55 now. She's married again. She's been married about 10 years.
And you said, when did she say she wasn't gonna get married again?
after her and her first husband divorced, and she was single and dating for, oh gosh, maybe like 10, 15 years. And then she found the one, and she found her a young one too.
Honey, I'm all for it. Listen, hey, yeah.
Like when she told us she was getting married, I was like, I could date him. Like the age range, like it wouldn't be, nobody would be looking at me like, who is this old man? But I guess nobody's looking at you saying, who is this young woman? Because she's a very youthful 55.
Yes.
That's funny.
I mean, you know who it is.
Yeah, I obviously know who it is.
It's your favorite cousin.
For real though.
It's that we're at the age where we can either date your son or your daddy. So you or your daddy, at least for me. That's how I feel. I can date you or your daddy. Lowest I'm on date is probably about 38. I'm 45. So you and your daddy, I could date. Say your daddy is 20, so that makes him like 58. You had him at 20, maybe.
Yeah.
I can date you and your daddy. So.
I mean,
that's something to tell somebody, ain't it?
I mean, when I think about the age of my dad and my brother, I'm like, yeah, about right. And you get the same person.
Yeah. You sure do.
Because my dad and my brother are the same person. They just don't realize it.
Man, that's crazy. But where was I going with that question?
I don't know.
I was just curious about like the time period between, because it's like, people grieve differently. And most of the time, or the experience I have with people grieving, they make decisions that most people that's not grieving wouldn't make.
They make them in haste.
That's it. They make really, really haste decisions. And I was just curious about that, just because it was like, I started dating too soon.
Yeah.
But what does that feel like? So
he died in September. He passed away in September, better language. And I started dating in November. So the difference, though, I feel for me is I knew that when my husband was going to die, like they told me, hey, it's stage 4. I did my fasting for like 30 days. And God was like, I'm going to heal him on the other side. So I had already started mourning him back in June of the year that he passed. So for me, it didn't feel like when he passed, it was this is horrible, but it felt like relief, right? Like I had been sorrowing or in sorrow and mourning the entire time that he was still fighting. And people said, so they hadn't seen me, then they saw me at his service and they were like, wow, you look amazing. And I would be like, why would you say that here right now? Like, that's not the appropriate thing to say at the funeral, but it's because I had been mourning all that time and now it's time to put him to rest, quote unquote. So I would say that it had been about 6 months, but in reality, he was gone in September.
It was about a month and a half.
November, yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead and finish.
I was just gonna say, so it later to me felt too soon. Like when you go back and you revisit things, I realized it might have been too soon, right? I understood what I wanted and who I wanted, but I think that I was just horny. So there was that. Like I was also in the space of I'm just gonna date. I just want to date everybody. I'm on my bald head whole shit. Like that was it. So I wasn't expecting to be all Google-eyed over this dude. Like, yo. And then looking back, I don't even know why I liked you. Like right now, I'd be like, what was I thinking? What was I thinking?
He got you laughing, didn't he? He got a laughing, and
that was my side eye.
Yeah, I saw that, but the truth is the truth.
Yeah.
So
he says that's how he got his women in the past.
Yeah, you laughed when anyway.
Don't worry.
It's not about us. It's about Talisa.
I have to say, please do not start that. So when you started dating after the first fool, well, actually, let's not even say after the first full. At what point, I know we've been talking about how you serial date now. Like you have, I don't want to say a rotation, as Issa Rae called it. She called it a hotation.
You date.
But
That's
you
it.
date.
I did.
At what point did you decide, like, I don't want to just date one person? I'm going to like go on dates. Like I remember in the movie Drumline, there was this one line. I know you're not Southern, but there was this one line that said, Southern girls don't date. We have boyfriends. And I feel like that's what's wrong with us in the South at this point, is because we get stuck on one guy. And it's like, it's so many of them out there. Like, go make you a rotation of people until you figure out who or what you want. So at what point did you decide, I'm not dating for a single companion. I'm dating so that I can be fulfilled of all the things that I need?
So if we're going to be honest, I think I've always been a dater of multiple people, just didn't call it that. Ended up getting one boyfriend. And like you said, I'm Southern California. Okay. So, so I would get stuck with the one person and think that was what I needed to do. Like that's the societal norm. That's what's acceptable, et cetera. It wasn't till maybe about 2 years pre-pandemic that I realized that I really should just be dating. Like, and no, let me not say that. Let me not say that. I knew that I should just be dating because I wanted more. I didn't really start practicing dating multiple people until about maybe 2 years ago, like full on. And so we're going to have a transparency moment. Not only do I date multiple people, I am polyamorous. So I love more than one person. I'm transparent about it. I'm genuine about it. I'm honest about it. We have conversations about it, and everybody knows about each other. Like it's not a secret. Mm-hmm. So if I'm dating, I'm going on a date. So right now I have, y'all finna be all in my business. But listen,
all up in it.
It's okay. I love y'all. And, like I said, like you said, Tommy, they judge Jesus. So what's the difference? Yeah. So I have a local partner and 2 long distance relationships currently. In addition to that, I go on dates. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Almost about 2 years ago, I decided to actually enter into that love style completely and not just say I'm dating until I, meet the person that changes my life. No, because in this season, I don't want to be married again and I don't want to live with anyone. I want to have my cake and eat it with ice cream, warmed up, maybe a little butter on top of my pound cake. Okay, listen, that's what I want right now. Mm-hmm. I think I'm entitled. I wasn't married long, but it felt like each year felt like 5 years. So it felt like 15 years. It felt like this isn't enough. And it felt like, or this is too much. And it felt like I needed to be free. And right now I'm my most happiest, most peaceful. It's the most freeing experience in my life.
Oh, that's dope, man. But for the people in the back, can you explain what polyamorous is? I know it's not for me.
Do you know?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I seen it on TV. But can you explain?
Now, I don't know. What you saw on TV might be
right. It might be an extreme circumstance.
I think it's a misconception. It's a misconception of how people view polyamory. So that means you love. Poly is more than one. Amorous is love. So you love more than one person. And like not just, sex, not just, physical contact, but actually build connections with these people and love them like you would love, like you love Tommy, Artieka, and like Tommy, like you love Artieka. Like it's that with more than one person. Now, people be like, oh, are there varying degrees to it? Maybe, but I love you based on your own merit. So each relationship I have is based on that merit alone, and what value you bring to me, what joy you add to me is what I love, right? And that goes for each other person. Everybody's on their own merit. people like, well, do you rate them? What if one wants this and they both want to go out with you on the same day? Who asked me first? Who said they was coming to town first? You know what I mean? And that's how, and then I still have my own life. So it's a whole ass like busy schedule, get in where you fit in. I talk to you every Wednesday for like 3 hours. I talk to you sporadically, periodically throughout the week. And, but you make it work for however you make it work. But had I not been polyamorous, because I am a wife coach, I recommend that people date more than one person. If you are single and not married and trying to figure out what it is that you want, you definitely need to marry. You definitely need to date more than one person. Definitely need to date more than one person. So let me go back to what polyamory is. Polyamory is ethically non-monogamous. So there's a whole umbrella. Underneath that umbrella is a myriad of things. So you have polygamy, which is what most people think of when they think of polyamory, which is the man with 2 women. You have polyandry, which is the woman with 2 men. You have polyamory, where I'm dating someone. I'm dating John. John can be married. John's wife could also have a boyfriend. So where every person has the autonomy to date whom they want. Of course, you've got expectations, boundaries, conversations, hard conversations that you have to have. It's a whole ass, it's not easy. I think when I decided to embark on this love style, I learned more about myself than I have ever learned about me, even in the season of figuring it out. I know so much about me more. You in polyamory relationships, you talk about it and then you talk about it again and then you talk about it some more and you're exhausted. But guess what? We're going to talk about it again. Right. And so that's what it's like. And I feel like it's different, but it kind of equates. If I'm dating more than one person, just regularly dating more than one person, like I was before I decided the love style, I would say you learn about yourself, because then you have to navigate. Do I like this person? Is this person a reflection of who I am right now? I don't like him. Oh, is what I'm seeing me? I don't like the way he doesn't ask questions. I don't like the way he doesn't call me. Then you have to think about, well, do I call? How am I asking the question? Wait a minute, is it me? I feel like our relationships are mirrors to who we are. And dating more than one person kind of lets you know what I want, what I'll accept, and what I don't want. You get to weed people out. I had a boyfriend when I was in my 20s that used to say to me all the time, you need to be dating more than one person. And the one that shows up. You'll know him when he shows up.
Your boyfriend told you this?
A boyfriend, right? When I was in my 20s.
Not a boyfriend.
Yeah, a male friend.
Oh, okay. I was like, your boyfriend told you? I would never tell your girlfriend that.
Yeah, no. He was actually. We have been dating for a while, and he was 10 years my senior. Oh, like I said, your daddy and you. Okay. He was 10 years my senior. Yeah, I got choices. And we were just having a conversation. And then he was just like, you should be. You should be. You are a commodity like I am. And I get to choose what I want. And maybe you don't fit that. Or maybe you do. And you bring this value here. You're teaching me about stocks. This is just, I'm just throwing this out here. You teaching me about stocks and you teaching me how to kayak. Both of you are people that I like, but bring different value to me. Yeah. So I feel like in dating, am I rambling and going in circles? Am I making sense?
No.
You're making sense.
Yeah. So I just feel like in dating in general, if I'm single, I should be dating more than one person. The end. Why? What are we doing?
Now, I have a question to add an extra layer to that, because you said that 2 of the guys are not local.
Right.
How has I don't want to say we're out of a pandemic, but how has the pandemic and the shutdown of the world, how did that impact those relationships?
So my love language, my primary love language is quality time. So immensely. Okay. I had to figure out different ways to have conversations and navigate and get the feel that I need, because for me, it is really out of sight, out of mind. So You feel neglected? You probably are, because I'm not near you, right? The opposite of my quality time is I want to be by myself. So, it's a catch-22. You want quality time, but I want to be by myself. So they work perfectly. But the way I've navigated it is video chat, dates on video. And you'd be surprised how they actually worked out. You might do a little something on the video, have a little conversation about some things that lead to something, so
you did your thing.
Yeah. Be away from your wife and get for a little bit of time. Watch what happened.
Yeah.
He went on one trip for like 5 days and we had the video chat. But it wasn't just him. Let me not make it seem like it's just him, but we had the video chat with each other literally every day that he was gone. And that was, were we married yet?
I'm trying to think of what trip you talking about.
When you and your granddad went on a great tour. I
video chatted you, dude?
Yeah.
Nah, we weren't married. Nah, I think that's we wasn't married. Okay. But were you done with what
I was done. Go ahead.
Because like this polyamory thing.
I know it's really intriguing.
It's intriguing because I practice it, but I didn't know they had a name for it.
All of your girlfriends did not know each other's names.
Yeah, I don't think you practiced it
in college. Like the thing
were you honest and transparent and everybody knew that you were dating other people?
They knew I had a girlfriend.
Did your girlfriend know you had other people that you were dating?
She suspected it, I think.
No, then that's not polyamory.
You were cheating.
No, I wasn't like, no, I wouldn't like anyway. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's not about me. It's about Talisa. But no, if had I known that this was a real thing, right? Yeah, I probably would have been terrible. But anyway.
But you wouldn't have had to be terrible because
I'd have been awful because I wouldn't have told anybody anything.
Well, then you wouldn't have been doing it.
I'd have been trying though. But the thing was, it was like for me, it wasn't about the sex part because for me at that time, that's cheating, sex. But if I'm like my girlfriend, it was a long distance relationship, so I made sure to talk to her all the time, or all the time that I could talk to her. Mm-hmm. But then, if I wanted to go out and go to the movies or something like that, I had a friend that I did that with. If I was just hanging out, cooking at the house or something, I had a friend that would come over and eat with me. Or somebody that go to lunch with me on my at work and stuff like that. I didn't find those things cheating. Now I did cheat. Like, don't get me wrong, I did cheat. I'm a what they call an ex-cheater, reformed cheater. But I cheated because that void wasn't being fulfilled. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's a different conversation in itself. You know what I'm saying? But the other things, like the things that I would want to do with my girlfriend, I could not do. And physically, and the only thing I had, and you know how much I love movies. And the only thing I had was these female friends. I didn't want to go ask my homeboy, hey, bro, you want to go to the movies with me? No, I didn't want to do that. So I, as you were explaining it, the only difference was I'm not telling my girlfriend that, hey, I'm going out on a date with this person or something like that. But
that's the big difference, though.
That's the hugest difference is the transparency. Yeah.
But she's telling them.
Well, it wasn't like I was trying to keep it a secret. It was just.
It's just the way it worked out.
That, and then it was just life. It's just, like how you wake up and brush your teeth.
I mean, I dated a guy who told me, hey, me and girl XYZ are going to the movies. However, what he didn't tell me was after the movies, they had sex.
That's cheating.
Exactly.
I didn't have sex.
I had the transparency of his, I don't even want to say friendship because it was a relationship. He eventually married her.
Yeah.
I had the transparency of their relationship with each other, but I did not have the full transparency of, hey, I think I really like her. Hey, this is turning into something more than just me and her hanging out because, you're 6 hours away in school.
Yeah.
It was like it's like me and him stop talking to each other, and then I find out a year later he's married to this girl.
Yeah.
So yes, like it started as this is a person who's fulfilling a void in my life. And then it turned into, she really fulfilling a void in my life.
Yeah, she's feeling a need. she's feeling a need. And that's really what it is, plus transparency and honesty and openness and work. So it doesn't necessarily have to be sex. Like some of my people, I would say, I told one of my homegirls, like, you're part of my tribe. Because you are my platonic friend that I love. I love many people. And that's what I think people forget, is that it's the ability to love more than one person. Just so you know, polyamory is a woman-centered love style, just in case anybody's wondering. And there's so many facets to it. I'm a baby. So get y'all some books and some YouTubes and some, experience and read and learn for yourself if you're interested. And don't come for me, you seasoned ass, like polyamorous people, like, because they will. But it's really basically about being honest about what you're doing. So like I do have LDRs. They date other people. They are also, intimate with other people.
Okay.
He was lost for a second. Had to reel him back in.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Long distance relationship.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah,
yes. Yeah. Thank you, Artieka, because she's smart. She's smart.
I'm just a little country bumpkin, man.
I just do the research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
you guys
team,
make a
man.
perfect pair. Yeah, you make a perfect pair. So, dating, as long as if you had said to your girlfriend, hey, I'm going out with Janet, we're going to the movies.
Then that would have been me practicing.
That would be the onset of it, because practicing is actually saying, this is who I am. This is what I do. Right. But it would be the onset of it. It's the makings of is what I want to say, but you aren't, there's so many levels to it and whatnot. And, as a wife coach, that's just a coach for women. I talk to polyamorous people too. Okay. Just in case y'all need to know. It's just so many dynamics, but the main one is like knowing yourself. Knowing and being and having all these partners, you have to understand you. So in dating more than one person, like I can't just be doing anything. I got to know what I like, what I want, what I desire, what my needs are. And I'm not saying that we discount what the other person's needs are, but I put mine in the forefront. And we have conversations, because you do break up when you are in polyamorous relationships because you don't align. Okay, this is a hard boundary for me. Like lying has always been a hard boundary for me. And so if we're polyamorous, you shouldn't be dishonest.
Yeah. There's no space for it.
There's no space for it. And if there is some dishonesty, what are we doing? That, to me, the dishonest part is you cheating.
Yeah. Okay.
You should be able to tell me.
Yeah.
I gave the girl a massage everywhere. Like, with all my tools. Oh, okay. And then you process it. I mean, it ain't easy. And just so y'all know, jealousy does occur. And you have to think about, am I jealous because of what they did? Or am I jealous because I wanted to? So did they actually do something to me? Or is this a feeling that I need to process because I'm insecure? I guess a whole ass, like, oh my God. Like,
no, it sounds like it's so much in it. Like you have to honestly be very mature to actually handle this, because it's like just being in a relationship with one person is extremely difficult.
But you look at me.
But that's the point of the podcast, right? Is to express how difficult marriage is and dating is, but also express the beauties of it as well, because it's a beautiful mess, but it's fun. Like I get to do life with my person that God has customized and made for me. You know what I'm saying?
My eyes are sweating. That's the sweetest thing. Like my eyes, I'm all like, that's the sweetest thing, Tommy.
I sweat today.
Right, I'm trying not to. Like they all glassy.
Yeah. But it's
look up in the sky.
But it's crazy because that's the way it's looked upon. But I talk to all my people, you know, they go through the same struggles, and it be days where like the team got to get together and, you know, coach one guy off the ledge because it's that difficult. But we all know that this person is customized to what I want and what I like. You know, it's how do I take care of this gift that I have? Because it's amazing to be married, you know, but it's even more amazing to do life with a person. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes it further than just marriage. It takes it to the relationship part, you know, the friendship part, the sometimes you got to be the mom in the situation. Sometimes you got to be the dad in the situation and stuff like that. The cousin in the situation, just a friend, just an ear to listen to, you know? But you said something. I said all that for no reason.
Okay.
But you said
it was nice though.
It was, yeah, you know, I try to give my little jabs there, you know.
Yeah, it was nice though, Tommy. It was nice.
But you said polyamory. And I'm gonna jump off of polyamory in a minute. But I'm very intrigued because I felt like before, like I said, I felt like I was practicing it in theory, but
you were not.
I just didn't tell the whole side of the story. But anyway, why is it women centered? Is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
Women centered. Why is that the case? Because the second part of that, when you first described it, I was like, men with two women is polygamy, right?
If they're married, normally it's if they want to be married, because you know that ain't legal here. Okay, let's just keep it a band.
Right.
They would have a moon ceremony and wrap their legs together, whatever they do, you know. But
like, okay, so polygamy, we're looking from a single man's point of view. We're looking at it, oh, that's a king, man. He doing his thing. But the other one was if a woman has two men, polyandry. We look at her as a whole. Because the one word that came up to me was, oh, that's a train. You know,
that's hilarious.
But they're not doing it together necessarily.
But it's like honestly, in my thought process, my novice of this whole love choice. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, polygamy. Oh, he's smashing two girls. Threesome.
I think that's society's thought process, because it's kind of like how we, and this is going to take it somewhere totally different, but this is how we like almost degrade gay and homosexual relationships just across the board. Like we look at gay men as they're just trying to have sex. And it's like, no, they literally do love each other. And yes, sex happens, but that's the same with heterosexual relationships. Yeah. Like they love each other and sex happens. When you look at polygamy, I think that people take the extreme. Because
because we're so
extremists with us.
Because we're so sexualized as a society. That's why my thought process, because that's the only time you hear about it. You know what I'm saying? Is between a sexual encounter. It's like, oh, he got two girls sexually. Mm-hmm. Not, oh, he's dating two girls, because that's not accepted in normal society. That's not something that's accepted. But then you, on the flip side, if it's one girl, two guys, that's not accepted. You know, and in the sexual situation, you know, that's the only time we hear about that. Ran a train on them. You know, and so it's interesting to me because it's like it's interesting to me.
Are you watching my face?
I am.
But it's like when you bring up polyamory, it's different and it sounds different, and the way you laid it out is more elegant than my thought process. But then I also thought about it. I was like, man, I just called this man a king, this girl a hoe. And then you have this.
And that's where your double standards are showing.
Absolutely. And I'm not going to even lie. I remember when Monique came out and she said she was in an open relationship. Open relationships are also under the ethically non-monogamous umbrella. Because people are being transparent. I thought to myself, I could never. Yeah. I have a whole ass video that says I could never, talking to Monique. Yeah. Right, dear Monique, like really like going in on her. And here I am
Yeah.
Evolve, change, different persons I see it in a different light. But of course, the reason I see it may be because I don't want to be married. I know that one person cannot be my all. I am a very intricate, have many facets to me, like a diamond, and not one person can fulfill that. So I need the stimulation from many different people.
How do you combat the ideas that I just presented? Like, what are your thought processes with those?
Oh, that's an everyday thing. There's some groups that I'm in, and people are shunned in that same manner. A woman is considered a hoe when she has more than one. The man is a king. And it's sad, but the way I combat it is, okay. Thank you for coming. What? That's your opinion. And I'm not going to sit and go back and forth with anybody about it. My friends are waiting for me to be like, okay, I'm done. That was fun. Right. Most of my friends are literally, they like, you love hard. You're a kind person. We feel like this is a phase. All right. Thank you. If it is, you'll know when I know. But for me, it's not. So I just take it in. First, I have to have a solid understanding of what it is that I'm doing. Mm-hmm. When I did this, it wasn't, I just said, oh, okay, this is it. I had to do research and have conversations and sit with myself and pray. And, oh my God, how are my, how's my spiritual family? When I say spiritual, I mean the Christian side of my family. What are they going to say? How are they going to view me? I had to be secure in my thinking and what I want to do and how I want to proceed. And my mother, when I told her, she was one of the first people, she was like, oh, okay, I was waiting. Like, she's always like, oh, okay, I was waiting. Cause I've always said, I need 5 boyfriends, one for this, one for this, one for this. I mean, maybe my whole adult life after I had my first child, I was like, this is too much. I need 5 boyfriends. One could be the baby daddy, but then the rest of them need to be, and she was just like, huh. And I think that for me, though, people are more accepting is because I'm a free spirit. I'm gonna do what I want. Thank you for your opinion. I appreciate your comments, your advice. Thank you. What I want, I keep. What I don't, I throw away. And so with that, I just say I'm a Black woman. That alone, y'all already got something to say because I'm a Black woman. Yeah. So let me give you something to talk about because I'm having a funky good time. Like, I'm having a good time, okay? Like, I feel like this is going to be sad. I haven't been loved this much and for never. I know my husband loved me immensely, right? Yeah. People could look at it and see it. And I was so unhappy, though, it wasn't really reciprocal. Mm-hmm. Right. So, and I wasn't unhappy. I realized not with him, but with me. Yeah. So, that's the whole thing too. So I understand what you're saying. Tommy, when you said, she's your person, she's made for you. My husband said I was made for him. Like God made me, molded me for him. Yeah. I believe that for that time frame of his life, I was for him and he was for me because he also showed me what God's love looks like unconditionally. Mm-hmm. For someone to love you despite you. The difference now is because I love myself. It feels like so much love is coming to me, but it's because I love me first. Yeah. Yeah. So I haven't felt this much love in forever. And I'm going to say it's probably because I love me. I ain't love me then. I love me now. It's like this person now, if someone's asked you today, Tommy, Artieka, would you be friends with you? If they asked me today, I would say yes. Wholeheartedly. That I'd be trying to be her best friend. But 7 years ago, 10 years ago, I wouldn't have liked me. But today, shit, she the shit. Like, oh, right, that's my best friend. Like what?
Yeah. I like that. That's something I actually had to learn when I moved down here. I moved down here with a purpose. And then I was alone a lot. So I had to learn who Tommy is and learn how Tommy likes to love and learn how, does Tommy love himself? I was like, could I date myself? And I said, hell yeah, man, we'll have a blast. We'll smoke weed every day.
18-year-old Tommy that I met and 25.
I think it was 25.
25-year-old Tommy that I started dating are like two totally different people. And I'm happy nothing ever aligned for us to even try to date each other at 18.
Oh, yeah. I am so glad of that.
I'd probably hate you right now.
Yeah. I definitely would have ruined your life.
No.
Not on purpose, though. Not on purpose.
I was a life ruiner back then.
Listen,
my life.
I'm glad that y'all know that, because most people who get married don't know that. They don't realize I shouldn't get married if I'm not fully who I am and know who I am, because I can potentially ruin my life and theirs. So that's dope.
I was toxic.
Baby,
and I'm okay with it.
With a capital TOXIC.
And I was completely okay with being toxic. I had a lot of rules that I made for myself to not have to deal with other people around me. Mm-hmm. So for guys, like, I had a rule, like, you can't spend the night at my house. You can't do this. Don't talk to me in public. Like, you need to act like you don't know me.
That's a tough one right there.
Yeah.
But I was that person.
Nah, I had a rule. Like, I didn't let people spend the night, and I used the fact that I had a girlfriend to enforce that. Like,
you just couldn't spend the night.
Like, it was like, I just cheated, but they didn't spend the night type of deal. You know, it's like, I did something wrong, but they ain't just
justify it, qualify.
Right, that's it. I was just justifying like my wrong, you know, and like, man, it was terrible, but it was okay because I was at an age where that's where I learned. That's where, quote unquote, got my royal oats out, you know, and I'm here. Not like, I'm glad I went through those things. I'm glad I went through everything I went through to be here, because at 25, at 35, I'm different from 25, you know, and I expect in 10 years I'll be different from this 35. Like, I'll probably be a millionaire in 10 years. That's the goal.
As the 10 years keep rolling, I'll be like, I don't think he can get any more emotional. And then here he is.
Here I am, you know.
I think that's good though. And that's what we're talking about, dating. And I feel like my son is 26 and, he locked in with one girl. Well, why? You have not dated.
How do your children, I know you have 2 sons.
I do.
How do they respond to your dating lifestyle?
They're hilarious. So the oldest one is, hats off to you, mama, because I couldn't do it. But if this is what you want to do, I'm all for it. Whatever you want to do, I'm all for it. And he always is like, you've grown so much. Like, he's such a, like, I see your growth. Like, I'm so proud of you. That's the oldest son. The youngest one, it was like, okay, so I just think it's weird. You're going to be kissing more than one boy. I just think it's weird. Why would you do that? I don't know. Is that against God? Like, a whole, like, the younger one and are so different. However, they love me. So, they kind of just stay out. I'm transparent and honest, right? Like, you hear me? They don't give me no privacy. So It ain't like I can sneak about it. They're going to bust in the room. I could be naked and I have to yell, I'm naked. So they don't give me the privacy to have, like, intimate, quiet conversations. And I don't want nobody to feel like they hidden. I don't want to be hidden either. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so when I start dating someone new, I let them know. Sometimes I don't use the word polyamorous because people be like, what? I just say I date more than one person. I build connections with more than one person. Connections is however you see it. Whatever you see is connections. I build connections with more than one person because I don't want to hide. I don't want my sons, to be like, my mama's ashamed of what she's doing. There's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm not even, if we look at it from a societal point of view, I'm not married. I ain't doing nothing wrong. Like, if you think about it in that way. But the people that are married aren't doing anything wrong either because it's transparent and open. They are having these conversations. But that's just for the people, who want to be like, whatever.
Yeah, everybody's
what I mean?
marriage is different. And that's just like everybody's relationship is different. Like, even with us, with friends that are like, just in relationships. I know sometimes we'll have conversations that are sidebars like, man, I couldn't deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, but it works for them. So let it go.
But then sometimes when you're looking at it and you say, I couldn't deal with that and it works for them, really does it? Really is it?
It shouldn't work for them.
It should.
Right.
It should not.
Probably in their spirit, it's not working either.
It's
right?
on the lines of, if you like it, I love it.
Yeah. I wouldn't, but if that's what you want to do, you know what I mean? Like it's that you stupid kind of vibe that you know, kind of go with, you know? So I don't know. And maybe, you know, I know I'm not going to change. Even if I decided in 10 years that I wanted to be married, understand that they have to be like, okay with my boyfriends.
Yeah. So is it a pool of like how, like, you know, like I tell her all the time.
I love Tommy. I love Tommy because here he comes. Here he goes. Here you go.
I mean, we're this little thing so, right here. I'm gonna pull it out.
Let me get this right here. I tell her all the time. I say, man, if we ever broke up or anything, I would struggle with dating because of how different it is from when I started dating. You know, like it was like when I started, it was rough. You know, it's hard for me to get a date and all this and all that. But then you fast forward to 2022, where like all my single friends, they're talking about this different app, this different thing right here. And people just don't go out and like naturally meet a person, you know? Two questions. How is that for you now? And then what was the biggest adjustment for you from dating previously into, you know, now?
So the biggest adjustment is I'm a fairly attractive woman. Yeah. I feel like I got a lot of shit going for me. I didn't have a problem getting a date.
Yeah.
Right. I don't have a problem now with someone being attracted to me and wanting to date me. The difference is I am now sharing that I'm dating more than one person. And they say, oh, that's not for me. My girl can't date more than one person. And I'm like, good thing I'm not your girl. Ashe, take care. God bless. Right. Like, so it's the finding the dates and going through the process of weeding out people who think that we're just going to have sex, because that's not a thing for me. I need an emotional connection with you, or really, really you got to be fine and got all the ducks in a row for me to be like, all right, let me jump in this pool. So that's one of the biggest adjustments, like finding people to date me that are of quality. Yeah. Let me add that to it, because there are some people that would be like, I'll date you just like that. No, sir. No, thank you. And then I meet people so there's Facebook groups for dating. I be on the dating apps like the rest of us. And in that transition is the big transition. Yeah. Being on the dating apps is like, oh my God, frog, alligator. Like, you just don't know. You know what I mean? You don't know what you're going to get. And I put on there. And then so with that, I'm on dating apps. And of course, dating apps really got big during the panini. Mm-hmm. And so I'm honest on there, like on here, it just says, you should date me if you're okay dating a woman that builds multiple connections. Most men are like, yeah. So you like women? I go, no. They go, no. So if I were to like women, I also would have a wider pool to choose from. But I don't, they'd be like, oh yeah, my girl could date another woman. That's what you call one penis policy. I ain't for that. Okay. So I don't like women. No, thank you.
I think when they go into that automatically brings it again right back to sex and not about a connection. It's like the connection is his penis and two vaginas.
Yes, exactly. And I think that, and that's the hard part. So for every 50 people I talk to, 50 is a big number because I'd be bored with the app. So every 50 people I talk to, maybe one is a connection. And that one, I might go out on a date with, but he's not really what I like, right? He's not really what I thought. He doesn't know how to hold a conversation. So he's not a conversationalist. He doesn't smell the way I like. His pheromones aren't mixing with my nose. So it'd be stuff like that. So mainly though, So mainly the Facebook groups and apps. My local partner, I actually met on an app. And that is who actually introduced me to this love style. At the time, I was just like, his thing says in an open relationship. I saw him on another app and thought he was fine. Okay. FAF. Like, I was like, yes. Saw he was in an open relationship and was like, no. Okay. Saw him on a different app. And in this moment, I was like, I'm just dating. I don't care what he doing. Like, you in an open relationship. So that means your girl would know. And it's on you if you lying. So I'm gonna go for it. And I share that with him today, and he'd be so sad. Like, so you just thought I was going, just be somebody you could throw away. Basically, I did. Basically, I was just going to go out and have a good time because your thing said you like to do fun stuff. I didn't have to have attachments, and that would have helped me not have attachments. And then here I am, all in love, 2 years later, like Google-eyed and shit. Like, the hell wasn't what I was expecting, right? Was not what I was expecting. So to answer your question, dating apps.
Yeah.
Now, this might be a little bit in your business, but we've been in your business today. Do you ever meet their other significant others and go out
ma'am.
like together?
Yes, ma'am. I've only met one, which is my local partner. And it was a long time before he introduced her. Like, I think that I had mentioned it, but I was like, well, in his own timing, I don't know what their relationship is like. And I met her. Sweetest thing, beautiful woman, great personality, like literally energy off the chart. When I met her, I think I got great energy. I'm gonna toot my own horn. Why be humble? It's whatever. So I hugged her, and you can feel like the goodness like coming out of her. You know what I mean? Like the positive, all the shit that people be talking about, the positive energy, the warmth, the welcoming. Like, I was nervous as hell. Talked to all my friends on the way, like one after the other, on my way to meet them. And it was nothing like that. We sat there and talked like we had known each other for a lifetime.
Yeah.
You'd be like, you my friend now.
No.
Like,
and the only reason I say no to that, she's what you would call my metamor, my meta. So she is connected to, I'm looking at Tommy's face. She's connected to my partner. I feel like we're not friends. And the reason I would say we're not friends is because if he and I stop dating today, would you want to hang out with me outside of him? Would you care about me outside of him? Would I be an integral part of your life without him? Like, so if something happened to me today and I went to the hospital, she would be concerned. She would make sure that he gets there. She would make sure that I'm okay. All of those things. But the moment that I'm not connected to him, would you still have that same sentiment? Would you still feel the same way? If you saw on Facebook that I was in the hospital, would you be like, oh, I need to send Talisa some flowers. Oh, I need to go see. Like, so for me, that's when I call you friend. Right now, you're my meta.
Yeah.
And you cool as fuck. I can sit and break bread with you and have a drink with you and go on about my life and not feel nothing. I have one of my LDRs, so I'm a source of contention for their relationship. So it's a whole different, like I don't understand. I shouldn't be, but I am. Okay.
Some wouldn't explain correctly.
What?
Or somebody lied.
That's
about their feelings.
That's what that
That's
is.
their feelings. Their feelings are somebody lied. I've actually spoken to her on the phone, had an opportunity to meet her, but my plane left too soon. So maybe when I'm there this weekend, maybe who knows? Maybe the next time we talk, I'll tell you, yeah, we met. We sat and had a conversation. But only one thus far. And then my other LDR is single. He's single, a single dad. So. But he has other partners. So there's no one living with him. I'm not going to give you all the terminology because Tommy going to be looking like,
please don't, because I'm going to be over here like, man, what is she talking about?
He's going to sit up. I'm going to give you, it's going to be like 2 weeks from now. He's going to be like, I was doing some reading. I was on this website and they had said, and he's going to have a lot of questions. So
that's hilarious, man.
I feel this in my spirit bubbling up already. And it's going to just come out at the most random time.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. Nah, I mean,
the book that helped me is called More Than Two. Even though they say that the people who wrote the book had a tumultuous, toxic relationship, the information in the book is extremely helpful. Good. It's almost like the polyamory Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think toxic people can still give good information.
Oh, absolutely. I used to give grand information in my toxic ass. Like, what? Ask me. I know the right answer. I ain't gonna do it though.
That's y'all and what y'all got going.
I'm gonna throw his shit out the window. I'm gonna break his phone. I'm gonna do the stuff.
Jesus.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. What? I'm gonna pop up. Toxic.
I'm happy you're the only person I ever lived with because I mentally would be like all his stuff going.
Really?
All of it. Mentally.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice mentally because I was married and it was physically like all your shit was before I bought my house after he passed, but out the apartment over the balcony, get your shit and like when I say, I want to just say, thank you, Lord. Listen, y'all don't understand when I say, I be like, ooh, when I look back over my life.
Do you think, what are other dating styles, I guess, is the question. Like, is it like like you have polyamorous? Is there another dating style out there that
you have your regular like
you have your heterosexual, your homosexual?
Well, not even just that, just like exclusive dating.
I'm just repeating what you're saying at this point.
Like people that date exclusively, people that date non-exclusively, where it's like, this not my boyfriend, but I'm dating.
Them is the people I like, them non-exclusive.
John, Matthew, Mark, and Luke. But they don't need to know about each other because that's my business.
Yeah.
That's the exact opposite, in my opinion.
I don't forget where my question was going with it, but I was going somewhere. It was going to be a good one, too. Good old grand time, what I was going to ask, but I don't forget. You threw me off with Jack, John, Mark, and Peter.
Honestly, I think that if you're just a single person and you're just dating, all you need to say is, I'm dating.
Yeah.
Do you have a boyfriend? I'm dating.
I think that's the only important part. I think that's the only important part.
I'm dating.
Like, why put a lot of people think that putting a title on something changes the fact of what you're doing. But
let's talk about it.
With titles, like I couldn't stand titles. Like I hated that I had a girlfriend. Well, I take that back. I didn't hate that I had a girlfriend, but I would have liked not having that title put on it.
You were toxic too.
Oh, I was terrible. Like I didn't okay, she cheated on me, so it was like an open book to cheat. You know? And like that's at night, what it was, like 20, 21-year-old Tommy. You know, that was my thought process because let in mind, I'm just 20, 21. So I've only been dating like 4 or 5 years at this point, 6 at the most, you know. 4, I got my license, so I was able to just go and take people on dates and stuff like that. So it's like I have a short time of dating. So if somebody's like cheated on me, well, shit, man, that's an open book to do whatever I want to at this point because you didn't keep it. I kept it, but you didn't keep it. So let's fair is fair, right?
That is grounds to break up, but
it is grounds to break up.
Immediate grounds for breaking up if you're cheating.
At 20, 21 years old, I'm not thinking about that. That's my girlfriend. I'm cool with that. But I got access to all these other girls. Like, why not? You know? How did we get there?
You were toxic. It's okay.
I know it. I know it. Like I know I was bad, and the way that I thought about, you know, women and stuff like that was terrible. But it's just how it was for me. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just how, like, being in the situation and being able to say, shoot, I'm trying to get some tonight. So let me go out here and attempt to get some. Where there's a 60-40 chance that I can get some. I like those odds versus 0 to 100, you know? So it's like when that age, when I'm trying to get it, when I'm trying to do that stuff, you know, like, yeah, I'm gonna do what I have to do to get it. Like, it's been plenty of times where I've been like, yeah, I love you. I've told a girl I love her just so I could, you know, finish the night off like I wanted, like get the goal.
I thank you for your honesty.
Like,
I thank you for your honesty.
I can be honest now about it because it's like, it doesn't matter, you know?
I mean, okay. So with that, look at me about to turn the tables. So with that being said, looking back, would you have done anything differently? Do you think that you would have, like, your mindset maybe would have been different about how you dated these women plus
like
your girlfriend?
Like for my 35 mindset, going back
to your 20, let's say 21-year-old self, would you have done something differently? And what does that look like?
Oh,
what does it look like?
I'd have completely done things. Well, first off, I would have got a DNA test.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a whole
that's
story.
A whole different
Did you do a story time? Did y'all do a story time?
Nah, we
touched on it on like one or two different podcasts, but I don't think he's ever like told the.
No, I told the story.
You have?
Yeah, on our podcast.
I know the story.
Yeah,
I've told the story.
I
don't know if I heard it on the backstage thing, but I got the story. No, we all like the story. It should be on your YouTube as a whole ass story time.
No, we told the story, but it's like those are like my thought process would have been, okay, get a DNA test first off, you know, because that pivotal moment, I was 20 at the time. That pivotal moment, my brain wasn't mature enough to handle that by myself. Mm-hmm. Right. And that basically was the process of me, you know, learning how to treat a woman, or learning, like, that's why I did the things that I did, because it was that she cheated on me then, which basically for the rest of the time I was in college, I didn't care about. I didn't look at it as being as cheating.
You were looking at it as retaliation on your
retaliation, right? So at that moment, I would have got a DNA test, broke up with her, and then I probably wouldn't have dated anymore, or I wouldn't have got a girlfriend. I would have. For me at that point, it was like it's only one girl that I think I would have like asked to be my girlfriend or something like that, but outside of that, and I didn't meet her until like I was graduating, you know, but outside of that, it's like, yeah, I'd have been like, it'd have been worse. I probably would have had a child. No, I wouldn't have had a child. Like I'd have been extra careful off of that point.
I think that men who have that happen to them end up being overly cautious. And then on top of that, now all women do the same thing. Y'all get the whole, every last one of y'all is like that.
Yeah. Like that would have changed. Like at 35, like I would have treated people like, I think I was a fairly nice person. Like I treat everybody the way I want to be treated, but I just never would have had that barrier of an actual exclusive girlfriend. Like people would have known I'm single and I can do whatever I wanted to with no repercussion to, like, I'm not hurting somebody else. What you mean?
Like I didn't have boyfriends.
Oh yeah, I've been a male. I've been worse than you though. I always feel like women have to have a certain, like, keep in a box. This me being a man, you know, women have to keep it in a box. Like I said earlier,
and it's so unfair.
It's one of the most unfair things. Somebody asked me the other day, like, are you like? I said something about Lily's gonna learn how to cut grass and take the trash out. Oh, you gonna make her take yeah.
She takes the trash out now.
Well, I'll be like, I don't see why. Like,
she carries her little bottles to the recycling bin.
Right. Why have those? If I think it's unfair how we look at women versus men, why would I raise my daughter to think that way? To think that it's not okay for her to do the same thing her brother does. You know, like I feel like, like the game is men chase and women are chased, because I feel like women have the thing that the man wants the most. A Neanderthal thinking man, 20-year-old thinking with his little head. Only thing he wants to do is put it in something warm. You know?
Should have just found you a towel.
But and I think
had that too. Had that too, But it's a warm body that he's looking for.
I think you're right with the chased and chasing, but in that we shouldn't be in a box because guess what? I'm giving you the dust to chase me. Like I'm enticing you. I'm intriguing you. I'm pulling you in so that you can chase me. And I feel like, y'all do the chasing, but guess what? We're allowing you to do that chase.
Yeah. And that's the reason why I'm like, I don't like the box. Once at 20 years old, I didn't know that there was a box. I just knew it was acceptable for me to do it. But it's not acceptable for a woman to do it. And if you are with a girl that's how she is, you want to be careful because she's a hoe. But you
a whole ass hoe yourself.
Right. Like you sitting up here doing the same thing she's doing. You're a hoe, but it's accepted. But now at 35, it's like, it doesn't matter. You're really going to do what you want to do anyway, regardless if you have one partner or if you have 100 partners. You know what I'm saying? It's fair game for both sides. And I hate it that we do put women in a box, but I don't know, like me personally, I don't put anybody in a box because it's like the person I'm sleeping with is sitting next to me. That's the only box I'm worried about. So it's like now,
okay.
But
said okay.
Like that's the only thing I have to focus on because like we all know, people like different things. Like if I learn the ins and outs of my wife, I'm good to go on that front. Now I can worry about some other front. But when you bring in kids and you have to, I don't know how we getting on kids, but
I don't know. You brought
I'm just going.
Look at me. I'm all like kids. Fuck them kids.
I say that so much, man, but I love it. But you think about you think about children and their thought process in it and raising these kids, and it's like you don't want to put that your little girl in that same box because that box sucks. Yeah, that box is terrible. Like you do want your children to be safe because there are diseases and pregnancies you can get into and stuff like that. You want them to be safe and you want them to be prepared for those things, but you don't want them to be like, you can't have too many partners because you're going to be looked at because it doesn't even matter what people think about you at this point.
That makes me think about Lori Harvey, right? And how people are shaming her because of her. Listen, girl, do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing. Like for me. And I think I don't have any daughters, but if I did, I would tell them that you need to know thyself before you start doing all these things. And you don't have to have sex with everybody that you date. I would also say, make sure you have a plan. When I say a plan, your sex plan, what is the plan? Baby's on the move. Like, yeah, I'm all like, have a plan. Have a plan, know what your plan is and don't deviate from that. Mm-hmm. Like there's a lot of things that I feel like, since we talking about kids, that we teach our sons that we don't teach our daughters. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Most of the things I've learned have been on my own. Had someone sat down and had a conversation with me, I probably wouldn't have had a baby at 20. Yeah. You know what I mean? I probably would have did things a little differently, would have looked differently, but nobody had those conversations with me about what does it look like when you become a single mother? Like, so all of these conversations that we have about our boys being, on the prowess, right? The chaser. Mm-hmm. We don't talk about to our daughters, what does it look like to be chased? How much of that do you have control over? Mm-hmm. Actually, you have quite a bit of it. You have a lot of control over it. And so understand that and what you're doing and who you're dealing with. Like we don't have the conversations. And I'm all like, well, God gave me a boy so I can have these conversations. Because one thing I tell my oldest son all the time, when she doesn't respect herself, you respect her. So if she seems like she's, doing too much, you respect her. She ain't got to respect herself, but you can respect her so that you don't fall prey to, some situation you didn't want to be in. Yeah. How did we get here? It's Tommy's fault.
Yeah, it's always my fault. This
is Tommy's fault.
Yeah.
Going upstairs is Tommy's fault.
This house is Tommy's fault.
There's so many things
Like,
we can blame on Tommy.
It's just Tommy's fault, man. You know how people be like, it's funny. I'm off topic at this point, but it's funny. Like when we all doing our live and stuff like that, and people be calling me out, like, he don't know what he talking about and stuff like that. I'd be sitting there like, you're absolutely correct. Like, I have no clue what I'm talking about, but I'm just giving you my initial thought after the question. You know,
you're a work in progress.
I am. Like, that's why I like do this with my wife, because she's more polished than I am. Just
absolutely. Look, I ain't gonna even lie to you. Absolutely.
Way more polished than I am. So.
I went to school to do this.
Yeah.
I just, however, don't do this for a living.
I'm like, I can set this up. Like, I can make it look real nice and set it up and, you know, can hear real good and stuff like that. We just sitting here talking, man. And that's what I love about this conversation, especially because we've gotten a chance to sit down and talk to our friend about her dating lifestyle that I never knew about. And all the things that, like, every question that I tried to ask appropriately.
That's the hard part.
Yeah, that's the hard part. It's like doing it appropriately. But everything that I want to know, Talisa, you have answered for me, and I really appreciate it. So
I hope so. I hope I didn't confuse you or anybody else for that matter. And if I did, listen, I don't know what to tell you.
No, but I really appreciate you joining us today. I don't have anything else.
You can go ahead and close it out then.
What is our word?
I
quote?
didn't.
You didn't get a quote?
I did not.
Like every episode, Artieka does. Like, it's funny because Artieka is from Memphis and she doesn't listen to rap music
anymore.
But every time that like a Yo Gotti song came on or 3 6 Mafia Project, but all these artists are from Memphis. If you guys didn't know, she would know word for word, lyric for lyric, beat for beat.
In the club, rapping my heart out.
Knowing it. Like, no doubt she knows this song. And I just find that to be funny. So we always end our episodes with a quote, rap lyric, or some song lyric that Artieka chooses. So
since you were talking about me being from Memphis, I just picked Play a Fly.
Play a Fly. That's always a solid one.
That he needs to get his music on streaming services because he's losing some money when I like want to clean up the house and listen to my 90s.
Play a Fly is actually very talented because the last few songs he came out.
Drugs is not doing them very good.
What's our quote or our lyrics for the episode today?
Let me see. So I chose Play a Fly and I chose the song Getting It On since, we've been talking about sex in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So let's see. Living for the win till end. Now you know it's on again. Play a Loving Friday. This is Fly Day and I'm clocking in. I'll just stop there.
Okay. And there you have it, man. Little Play a Fly for the episode, man. But once again, thank you guys for listening to another episode of the August Love Story podcast. Talisa, thank you for being on here with us.
Oh yeah, Talisa, tell everyone where they can find you.
You can find me if you Google Talisa Rae. So my website is talisarae.com. From there, you can get to my YouTube channel, also my podcast that is on hiatus, as well as by my journal, Who Am I? Follow me on all social media at Talisa Rae. I think I'm on TikTok. Okay. I'm on TikTok. I'm about to be TikToking in a minute. Well, I TikTok a little bit. Yeah. And it's all Talisa Rae. I am Talisa Rae or Talisa Rae. If you put that in, you'll find me.
That's what's up, man. Go follow her. Go support her.
Yeah, everywhere, especially on YouTube, because I need the extra money when I be on hiatus. Go catch up on some stuff.
Yeah.
Watch everything. Go back, put it in order from the beginning and just listen.
Yeah, from 2012 when I was doing Truthful Thursdays, which I might bring back when I was telling y'all about yourselves, to when I was crying and everything. Get your life and come follow me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find this Monique video just because I need.
Girl, it's right there. When you go on, it's right. It's one of my top videos. And when I tell you I talked about her, baby, if somebody ever said, "Well, I'd be like, listen, that's what evolution looks like."
I am not my past. Well, again, thank you for joining us. You did your like, share.
Oh, like, share, subscribe to our stuff at the August Love Story.
Comment down
below. Share the video. If you haven't, if you listen to it on like the audio, share it. Subscribe to us on where we on Apple, everything, wherever you're listening to podcasts, we're there.
And if we're not, tell us, we'll get there.
Yeah. And yeah.
Bye, y'all.
Peace.